All right, my friends, it's time for piano. Hello and welcome. I'm so thrilled to bring you another song from Miss Amy Hansen's Piano Postcard for the season of Spring 2021. This lesson here is going to be Song of the Desert, the intermediate version, and it is a gorgeous song, and I can't wait to give it the justice it deserves. But a couple things you could do for me before we get started. If you don't mind liking and sharing this video, that would help me tremendously, as well as Miss Amy, in letting people know of the amazing services that we are bringing to you guys. She writes the music, I teach the music. So it would be lovely to have more subscribers. Thank you. Again, I also mentioned subscribe to my channel here where I teach Miss Amy's music. It helps, right? So that way you can get reminded of any new lessons that pop up. Don't forget also to subscribe to Miss Amy's service, Piano Postcard, okay? Piano Postcard. This is Miss Amy right here. She's a wonderfully creative composer, coming up with some amazing music every single season. So she always comes up with some amazing things. So visit pianopostcard.com to get your subscription. All right, excellent. And we're back here. And yeah, I guess I'll throw up the logos and we can get started, okay? There we are, Piano Postcard and Izzy Chia. So let's begin, okay? So this beautiful song, Song of the Desert, has an amazing inspirational story. Miss Amy writes here, the Song of the Desert is a flashy, roll off your fingers type of piece. Begin quietly and fade to almost nothing at the specific measure of 13. Then a desert storm comes, and you'll feel those flash floods and those flashes of lightning and booming thunder. The last 8 measures will break up that storm into a very calming echo. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, she really comes to play here with her creativity. So a couple notes about what I recognized in this piece. The first part of it really reminds me of like a desert desolation, right? So it's starting quietly. Maybe you're longing for some sort of relief from the heat. You're looking for an oasis, right? It's a very legato opening, okay? But then, like she mentioned, it changes dramatically at that measure 14. And it gives me sort of this feel of like a tarantella, which is a type of dance. And it's very furious feeling, like it really gets into it, right? So that storm is brewing and booming, and then it ends very calmly at the end, right? You know the saying, calm after the storm? Yes, absolutely. Very good. So it's going to be a fun exploration, and I'm so happy you're here to join us. So some musical notes about this song. I was exploring the beginning and the ending of the song because I like to determine what key signature we're playing in, okay? And this one had a really interesting feel to it because as I realized, we have a B flat and an E flat in the key signature. Now this is telling me it could be 2 different keys. It could be G minor or it can be E flat major, okay? And how I like to figure out which key it's in is I play that opening chord. Sounds very G minor, huh? Excellent. But then I also play the ending chord of the piece, and the ending chord of the piece sounds like this. Wow, right? So it's actually one of those types of pieces where it modulates from a G minor, it dances around, and then it actually ends in the relative major. That's incredibly cool. Now, when I say Miss Amy's music really, really comes to life, it's choices like these that she makes in her compositions that really, really sets it apart from other types of composers. So, excellent choices again, Miss Amy. All right, so now that we understand the keys, G minor modulating to an E flat major at the end, let's talk about the time signature. Now, I see that it's written with 6/8 time, and that is pretty much a given, right? Because if I'm thinking of a tarantella, a lot of times they are in 6/8 time. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? But she really does something interesting at the beginning here. What you would expect to be all the way 6/8 time, I'm actually hearing more of a 3/4 time at the beginning, okay? Just the way that she's written out her melodic lines, it feels like a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, versus 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. But the beauty of it all is that she's melded both of them together. And that's what's cool about a song like this. So let's dive into some notes, okay? I'll switch to piano view and let's learn the right hand, okay? We'll learn the first 13 measures, okay? Here we go. All right, beautiful. So I'm starting with my right hand on my G above middle C. And you'll hear what I'm talking about here as far as the meter goes, right? So if I count off 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, it feels a little bit different than that. So I'm going to just do a 3/4 entrance. Ready? 1, 2, 3, ready, and play. G, A, B flat, G, E flat, D, C, B flat, F, G, A, F, G, 2, 3, G, A, B flat, G, 7th, E flat, D, F and A, G, F up to 4th, D, C, B flat, A, G, 2, 3, G, A, B flat, 4th, G, C, B flat, A, 2, 3, tie, G flat, B flat, A, G, and then down to D. Yes, and that's where we're stopping. Isn't that interesting? Yeah, she's got a lot of cool choices going on there melodically. Now, some of the fingers you'll see, I had to sort of shift them as I was pressing it down. So just see what finger pattern works for you and stick with it, right? Write in some finger numbers if you need some help. I'm going to play the right hand section for the first part again, but I'm not going to say any note names this time, okay? Let's give it a try. Okay, here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and ready and play. Very good. Isn't that beautiful? I'm telling you, it's like the melodies are dancing here, right? So even if it's like a hot, desolate desert and you're just longing for relief, like you can really feel that in her melody choices here in the right hand, okay? Now, in support of that melody, we have some arpeggiated chords in the left hand, exploring that dance between G minor and E flat major. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about here. Okay, let's switch to piano view and learn the left hand now, okay? Let's do it. All right. Oh, it's so beautiful. You'll hear what I'm talking about, okay? I'm only going to be saying the first note name of each arpeggiated pattern so you know where you're going to be living, okay? Because it's arpeggiated, remember you're going to have to be crossing over, right? All right, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, ready, and play. G, C, down to F, back to G, G again, back to C, down to F, now B flat, E flat, rest, C, now D major, 1, 2, 3, now we have a chord G, B flat, C, then we have D, E, F sharp, and that leads right into section 2. It's amazing. Yeah, aren't those arpeggiated chords beautiful? It's very much supporting that feeling of longing, right? I mean, I'm just imagining someone like going through a desert and they're looking for an oasis somewhere. They need water. They're hallucinating a little bit, right? You get that feeling when you're playing these arpeggiated chords. It's so much like the heart, the mind, like it's wandering to places maybe never before visited. So let's play that left hand line again for those first 13 measures. And let's see how it goes, okay? All right, here we go. Okay, here we are with that left hand, very beautifully arpeggiated. Mezzo piano, okay? And then we even have a diminuendo into measures 11, 12, and 13, okay? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, ready, and play. Beautiful. Excellent. Yeah. Okay. So now you're hearing what I'm hearing, I'm hoping. Yeah. So let's see if we can play the first section here, hands together. But keep in mind, or bear in mind that, you know, if I make a mistake, don't worry, I'll fix it and I'll keep going. This is a gorgeous piece though. And I understand that given the, difficulty of the piece, yes, mistakes do happen, okay? But we will do our absolute best, okay? Let's try it. All right. All right, let's give it a try. 1, 2, 3, ready, and play. Yeah. You can see I still need a little bit of practice, but that's okay. You know, we're learning it together. That's perfectly fine. So, yeah, those melodic lines, it's the most important part I feel is like, it's just got to feel like it's moving, right? That in and out, it's really moving across the desert. You're searching everywhere for relief, right? But little did you know that the relief is coming from the sky. Yes, so beginning section 2, things get a little crazy, but for a good reason. The relief is coming in the form of rain and a storm. And boy, what a storm it is. So let's start exploring that second part here. So starting here at measure number 15, okay, even like the measure prior, measure 14, it's sort of leading into this new section here with that left hand. You can tell with that dee-da-dum, and then the big change happens. Right, it's really, really changing right there. So you want to make sure that you have that feeling for your audience, okay? Now, starting at measure 15, let's start exploring the right hand of this section. Now, you'll feel that tarantella feeling here. The 6/8 time really comes out because now instead of arpeggiated eighth notes in the left hand, we have the big dotted quarter beats. It feels more like a tarantella, okay? So let's start with that right hand at measure 15, and we will have a good time exploring it. Right in the middle of a storm, okay? All right, so starting there at the B flat, because remember, we've got B flats in here from our key signature. We're going to go through this, and it's going to feel like a bunch of different notes. We're going to go all the way through to measure 43, okay? So here we go, okay? 1, 2, 3. That's where I'm stopping at 43. I told you, it's got that feel. It very much feels like a tarantella, right? And there is some really, really cool stuff happening here melodically. I like the beginning of it, right? Measures 15 all the way to measure 28. It's really, really interesting there. The build up, right? And there's even a crescendo there at measure 27, 28 to a forte at 29. And I love that chord, right? That's our beautiful, right? And then we have the harmonic minor in there. We got, right? Really, really good choices there. So let's play through that section once more. I'll slow it down a little bit so that way you can try your best to keep up, okay? I would have broken down this section a little further, but it's all related here. So I think the most important thing is just keeping it going, right? So if you need to break it down into pieces, phrases as you're practicing, isolate those phrases, drill them. This is what I do for practice. Isolate the phrase, drill the phrase several times, and then I reinsert it back into the song and try to make that transition as smooth as possible. So let's try it again, okay? Here we go. All right, lovely. Looking here, starting at measure 15. All right, 1, 2, ready, play. okay? Beautiful, yes. You see, it's just those fingers dancing across there. That, the tarantella is very fitting. Very fitting for this section. It is very storm-like, right? So now let's explore the left hand of this section, okay? We're going to be beginning with our low G. And remember, the left hand's keeping those big beats, the dotted quarter note beats throughout this section, okay? All right, let's give it a try. All right, here we go. Now, starting at measure 15, this is what it sounds like. Here we go. 1 and a 2 and a ready and a go. F, G, F. Short. Chord, chord, getting louder. 2 and tie to G. B flat, chord, C, E flat, G minor, and that's where we're stopping. Very cool. Now I love that left hand. That section really comes alive. And you can see how it's very foundational to that melody in the right hand, right? The right hand's just dancing, right? But that left hand is grounding you, right? It's really bringing it home there and having us really understand just how much depth this storm actually has. So I really enjoyed that left hand. And I don't say that often. A lot of times it's just all the pretty notes are in the right hand, but I think this section really helps the left hand come alive. So let's play the left hand section once more, okay? All right, let's do it. Beautiful. Now, looking here, we're beginning down here with that low G, okay? Let's try it again. Measure 15, Song of the Desert. Here we go. 1 and a 2 and a ready and a go. Staccato. Here we go. Excellent work, my friends. Yeah, we're making a lot of progress here, okay? Now, like I mentioned before, the reasons for teaching all of this in one chunk is like, for me to be able to teach this in about 30 to 35 minutes long, I have to chunk it a little differently than I would in my individual practice time, right? So take those individual phrases, extract them, drill sections, play them ultra slowly, super snail slow is what I tell my students. Then try it extra piano, then try it forte, then try it all staccato, and then try it all legato. Just all of these different ways of playing these phrases to really solidify it in your brain, okay? Excellent. Now I'm going to try this section hands together. Let's just see what happens, okay? I'm excited. My favorite parts happen in this section of the piece, so let's give it a try. All right. Okay, starting at 15. Here we go. 1, 2, bum, bum. Okay, let me try that again. 1, 2, ready, go. 43. That takes us to the end, okay? It's so much fun. Yes, I think I get a little bit nervous too playing on camera, but no worries. I'm not the type of teacher that dwells much on that, right? I know I'll be able to play it with really, really great practice, and so will you. You'll be able to play this piece beautifully, right? And remember, if you need help with any sections, my Discord server, I didn't really mention that earlier, but my Discord server has a Piano Postcard channel. So that's our class channel for Piano Postcard songs. If you have a section in here that needs some help with fingers, or you want to record yourself playing a section, you can do that on my Discord server. So I'd love to have you on there. So now let's look at the very ending here. So the storm has finished. Now starting at measures 43 through 50, this is where the resolution happens at the end, right? The calm following the storm, right? It's excellent. And the choices that Miss Amy makes, brilliant here, because ending in the relative major, amazing, mind-blowing. She's just really, really cool. So let's see what happens here. I'm going to try this all hands together, just so you can hear it very slowly. And then we will go into working in the ritardando, okay? So looking here at the end, our left hand just played a G minor triad. We have D, F, B flat here in our right hand. It's nice and fortissimo, right? B flat, A, down to D. Now we have G with an B flat, D, and G. Oh, wait, no, that's not right. G, B flat, E flat, excuse me. There it is, right? Let's try that again. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that chord progression. And then she takes it down the octave. All right, we've got D and B flat in the right with an octave G. B flat, A, down to D. Then we've got the E flat major. And it just sits there, right? It's so beautiful, I'm telling you. Let's try that again, okay? Starting at 43. 1, 2, ready, play. Beautiful, isn't it? Yeah. She really, really brings it there at the very, very end with that ritardando. And ending mezzo piano. It's such a drastic change from the climax, which was only like 3 measures before that, right? It's really, really beautiful, that ending. So let's talk a little bit about dynamics, and then let's talk a little bit about tempo, okay? So dynamics in particular, I think it's really important to note how many dynamic changes and shifts happen within this piece, right? In section 1, we begin with a mezzo piano, and then we get softer to a piano, okay, at measure 11, okay? I'm going to show you this section here. Miss Amy wanted me to show you guys some of this. So looking here, you see it starts mezzo piano. And then on line 2, you see there it is, the piano shift. There's got a diminuendo right there, okay? All right. Now, starting the second section, it's mezzo forte. And it stays mezzo forte through that first initial beginning of the storm, all the way into measure 27. At 27, there is a crescendo going up to a forte, okay? And with that forte, you have to be able to sustain that forte through the whole rest of the top line of page 2, okay? Let me show you that section here, okay? So there we go. Put that right there. There we go. Mezzo forte. And then it continues. And then there it is. You see down there at measure 27 is your crescendo to forte. All right, beautiful. Now that we've analyzed the dynamics on page 1, let's look at page 2. Now we're starting at page 2. Remember, we're keeping that sustaining forte through the whole thing. This is the biggest part of the storm. I was going to say baddest, but it could be. And then we've got a crescendo at the end of measures, let's see here, 42, 41, 40. Measure 40, 41, 42, all the way to 43 fortissimo, okay? That is the climax of this piece, okay? And then it slowly, not slowly, it suddenly, I don't know why I said slowly, it suddenly drops. We only have 4 measures of fortissimo, and then it drops to mezzo piano with a ritardando. So as quickly as that storm appeared in the desert, it went away just as quickly. Okay, so keep that in mind as you're playing your piece. Let me show you this little bit, okay? Here we go. All right, you see that? There's that crescendo. And then there's a fortissimo on the final line. Okay, beautiful. Wonderful. All right. I love that analysis with our dynamics. Now, tempo. Now, this was one that I had to really talk to Miss Amy about because we have, there's different ways to go about this. Like, if you're really trudging through the desert and you want to slow down that initial opening a little bit slower, that's perfectly fine. But I felt, and so did Miss Amy thought that that opening section of Song of the Desert should have something close to a quarter note equals 80 on your metronome, okay? And then when the transition happens at measures 14, that measure 14, it sort of has a bit of an accelerando. So if you feel like it's got to have a little bit of speeding up right there, that's perfectly fine. I calculated it out and it sounded really, really nice at dotted quarter note equals 96, okay? So you're going up about 16 beats per minute, okay? So just make sure that it's something along those lines, okay? Now, it's a beautiful song, as we are all well aware of. I will attempt to play it all the way through, and let's just see what happens, okay? Thank you so much. Here we go. All right, Song of the Desert, here we go. It's very pretty. I know which parts I need to practice for sure. And that doesn't, it doesn't deter me. I just need to practice it just like you guys. So I'm going to keep working on it. It's beautiful. It's bringing so many amazing pictures in my head of what could be possibly happening in this piece. So I'm very, very happy to work on this song with you guys. Now, you may have also noticed I put a little bit of overlapping pedal throughout the piece because for me, stylistically, I felt that the pedal, the damper pedal itself, added a bit of mysterious feel to this desert. So overlapping pedal, in my opinion, worked for my version of this piece. Miss Amy didn't notate any pedal in this piece, but I will just leave that pedaling up to your discretion as the learner, okay? And if you're working with a piano teacher, you can ask them their opinion as well, okay? Beautiful. You guys are amazing. Thank you guys so much for tuning into our Song of the Desert piano lesson intermediate version. Quick reminders. I am a donation-based studio myself, so if you find that these lessons that I'm bringing to you are valuable and you're enjoying my teaching, consider joining as a monthly patron to support me financially. I've got different tiers from $5 a month up to $90 a month if you're looking for some private lessons, which I have some spots available still. So thank you very much for letting me say that. Another reminder, don't forget to subscribe to Piano Postcard. Okay, pianopostcard.com will get you a digital subscription of this music that Miss Amy writes every season, okay? Just pick your level. She's got beginner or intermediate. And if you use the code IZZIE, IZZIE, it will get you a little percentage off of your digital subscription. So don't forget, that's the only way to get this music is if you subscribe to Miss Amy, okay? And then for me, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, right? Subscribing here is very important as well, so you are notified of any new piano lessons I have coming up. I don't just teach Miss Amy's music, I also teach regular lessons for very small children, elementary age children, teens, and adults. So check out my channel, okay? Thank you so much. Well, that concludes our lesson for Piano Postcard, Song of the Desert. Isn't it gorgeous? I'm so happy you could join me today for piano. Get some good practice in. Let me know how you're doing on Discord, and I will see you all very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.